Just so you know how serious I am, I'm going to read this in American. My girlfriend is obese, 300 pounds plus. I'm average, about half her weight or less. I just keep slipping out most positions besides missionary. Positions like doggy style are near impossible to accomplish without losing your groove because you need to keep your mind on not pulling out too far. Also, I've had my junk bent a few times too many. It's never pleasant. My ex was morbidly obese by the end of our relationship. We hadn't been able to have sex in about a year. I had gotten fed up with no sex, and we agreed to both lose weight. I did, he didn't. You can see where this ended. His penis was probably around 5 to 6 inches, but with the stomach roll and the part above the penis roll, don't know what it's actually called, but it was a big roll, just couldn't penetrate bar the tip. Doggy style was the only position that worked for actual penetration. However, as he was so obese, he couldn't finish as he would be too exhausted. Frowny face. I weighed 395,415 pounds. It fluctuates with eating habits. Formerly, I was 575 pounds. She weighs 210 pounds, formerly 300 pounds. Sex was a little more difficult when we were both bigger. Mostly, we'd do some oral and then a few positions. I was still able to penetrate from the front and doggy, but doggy was difficult, and I couldn't go very deep. Since losing weight, we can do more positions, like we can both be laying down, and I can penetrate her, and we rock back and forth. I can straddle one leg while holding another, etc. We're not trim enough yet to where she can ride me, but we're slowly getting there. We have what I would consider a pretty healthy sex life, doing it 3 to 5 times a week. I get a bit tired when I'm on top. Mostly my legs get tired if I'm in a squat position, e.g. reverse cowgirl. If he's on top and tries to put my ankles up on his shoulders, his belly squishes my belly, which then squishes my titties, and they kind of push up onto my throat and make it difficult to breathe. I don't want to die being suffocated by my own titty fat during sex. Doggy is a clear winner, and quite conveniently my favorite anyway. My husband is morbidly obese, 450 pounds plus, and I'm average weight. The only time we've experienced obese couple sex is when I'm 8 or 9 months pregnant, which I'm currently approaching for the 3rd time, 6 months right now, and sex is very close to impossible during those times. Under normal circumstances, when I'm not pregnant, our sex life is very horrible. It is basically me on top doing 90% of the work till he gets off, which can be anywhere from 2 to 20 minutes. Pleasure for me takes a lot longer than he has stamina for, and also, I don't find his weight attractive physically. It sucks. I love him very much, but this is an area of our marriage that has been bad from the beginning, and unless he loses a ton of weight, which he tries to do regularly, but never really succeeds, it's not gonna get better. I was a virgin when we got married, and fidelity is important to both of us, so I've resigned myself to basically never knowing what good sex is like, unless, God forbid, he dies, while I'm still somewhat young and I found a new partner. It's a conversation we've had many times. We are on the same page. He knows it sucks for him too, because I have no incentive to have sex, and unless I'm drinking heavily, I have pretty much zero interest. We both would love to have more sex and great sex. His weight is what keeps us from doing that. Yes, he's tried keto. Thanks all for the suggestions. Yes, he's working on losing weight right now, actively, etc., and has a doctor, trainer, nutritionist, etc. helping periodically. No, he's not interested in surgery. Yes, we do oral. Sometimes when I can balance myself for long enough on his face. We've been together a long time and have tried every position we can think of to make things work. Where we are at is where we've landed after a decade. I just posted this in the first place because it's a perspective that I think is worth to hear. Healthy weight women and very overweight men aren't that uncommon, but for some reason the obstacles for their sex lives go unspoken about. You know. I'm about 330 pounds. My wife is not exactly fat, but not fit by any means. Basically, when we first got together, the sex was terrible, with just her on top. Over time, we figured out what could work for us and what couldn't. Plus, after a while, it was basically a workout routine for me where I just got more efficient. We still have our days when we can't get it to work right. Also, shower sex will never happen. Throw away because gross. My boyfriend and I are both obese, but under 300 pounds. Yay! If that puts it into perspective. The issues we face mostly relate to things getting in the way, like my butt. For instance, penetrating me while spooning pretty much can't happen because my butt is so big. Also problems with me being on top. For one, I can hold the squat position for terribly long before my thighs start to burn. Also, stomach turns to flop when bouncing up and down, which is embarrassing for me. Also, when he's on top, I need him to hold himself up a bit, because the weight of him plus his stomach, where he carries his weight, is in a suitcase, makes it hard to breathe, especially if he tries to kiss me at the same time. If we were both fit, if I could be on top for longer, I wouldn't feel like suffocating when he's flat out laying on top of me. He could pick me up, and apparently he'd gain possibly an inch or more with weight loss. Edit. Many of you, and I assume many more, have asked, well, why don't you just lose weight? Here's the answer, transphobe. I would really love to, and I've been trying for years, and I was successful once, lost 90 pounds, and then gained it all back, and it sucked. My boyfriend has also lost a substantial amount of weight in the past, but he hasn't gained back as much as I have. Speaking for myself, I've got a food addiction, and it's the most frustrating thing ever. Basically, I'll have dinner, commonly a lean cuisine, and then after a little while my brain will start telling me it's not satisfied. This is not happening. And I fight back, at least at first, but it's persistent. Are you and your brain different creatures? What do you mean you fight back against your brain? It's almost like having an itch that won't go away until you scratch it or feed it. And it's depressing, honestly. I keep reminding myself that no matter how much I eat, my brain isn't going to be satisfied. See, this is like a fucking Carl Pilkington shit right here. No matter how much I eat, my brain isn't going to be satisfied until I'm actually in pain. You are your brain, you fuckface! So eating more isn't actually going to make the cravings go away. I'm also an emotional eater, and I've had a very rocky life for the last several years, which hasn't helped. I've gotten gym memberships. Yeah, these are helping you lose weight, right? I've lost weight, and then I can't afford the gym membership because I'm not getting as many hours at my job, or I move, or I can just use the gym at the school or whatever. Wow! Basically, I had a ton going on in my life and have been able to give weight loss the attention it deserves. I know these are just excuses, yeah, but this is what's been holding me back. Excuses? Proper motivation, feeling like I'm worth it, battling those intense food cravings, and just not being able to put it in the forefront of my consciousness. Wow. I weigh a little over 400 pounds, says War Machine. At least I did a year ago, and my girlfriend is around 300. We are definitely overweight, and we can enjoy sex just fine. We can swing from the chandelier. We can many positions, and have lots of fun doing it. Although that may be sure to the fact that I have good-sized penis for my weight, a little over 6 inches. My favorite position is girl on top, and we can do just fine too. We do missionary and doggy too. My girlfriend is obese, 350, and I'm pretty fit, 160, very active. I don't know. And sex is pretty awesome. Keep in mind though, I'm an FA. Okay? Either one of us can be on top. When I'm on top, getting past her thighs can be a bit of a challenge. I'm in fat A. What the fuck is a fat A? Fat ass? I'm hiding my hands in her back fat. is fun, and pressing against her belly rolls really gets me going. Jiggly sex can be mesmerizing. When she's on top, her belly completely covers my chest, and I can see her vagina. For us, this is a sexual thing, and it's like kinky teasing. She doesn't have much stamina, but that's okay, because it usually doesn't last long, because I'm so turned on by her weight. I like to wrap my arms around her butt, and try to remember how different it felt when I was with a skinny girl with a butt that I could cup with my hands. So hot.